Hey everybody, this is Miss Florida Hot Picks here, giving you guys another Pick 3 workout. And today I want to talk with you about Pick 3 Missouri. Okay, I want to share with you guys how you may want to look at the rundowns, especially if you're using the 317 rundown. If you happen to see false triples or triples running slanted up or down, or sometimes even straight across. And the reason why I like these in particular, they can render out some really cool areas to keep your eye on that you may want to select your numbers from. Not that I can guarantee, but hopefully this will help you make better number selections. Okay, so we'll start with the very first example. March 16th evening, there was a hit of 257 in Missouri. Again, if you're not sure how to use the 317 or count it out, they're very simple to put together. You're going to block in your last hit, in this case 257, and then you're going to add each of these numbers down the columns. Okay, so for the first column, we would add 3 all the way down. So 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 3 is 11. Now, when you get to your 2-digit numbers, only use your ones place. So we would use a 1, okay? 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 3 is 10. Just use your 0. 0 plus 3 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 3 is 12. We'll use the 2, okay? You know that you did it right. The number you start with will be the number you end with, okay? Excuse me. Then we would add 1 all the way down the second column, 7 all the way down the third column. Okay. Now, once you have everything put in, pay attention because you may see starting from your left side, we have these mirrors 4, 9, 9, 4. Sometimes you'll have triples or false triples going down. Sometimes you'll have them going up. If you see that, careful, careful, careful. All right. Why? Because they could have some really cool patterns wrapped around those areas. Now, typically, I tell people that the actual rundown could be a hot list of numbers, right? But it's still a significant amount of numbers, right? So there are a few locations, Missouri, you may want to pay attention to, all right? And that's especially on around the slanted areas. Um, there's certain numbers that you or may want to check with. Look at this 312 on the bottom, okay, of this 500. Okay, this 312 actually mirrors itself as 326 going straight across. There's a reason why I want you to pay attention to that. Okay, the reason why is because this could be a hot area of numbers that you may want to pay attention to. Some states, the numbers that like to repeat across could be hot. All right, so let's look at this. We have, if you extend your rundown, you'll see a 055 here, okay? And then we have what running down? We have this 768. If you're reading from top to bottom, that could be hot. So I would write that down, 768, okay? Now, what is the mirror to that 768? 871. Now, if you're saying, Miss Florida, what's a mirror number? I'm glad you asked. Mirror numbers are the same number, they're opposite of each other. Okay. Like a 0 could be a 5 could be a 0. 1 could be a 6 could be a 1. 2 could be a 7 could be a 2. 3 could be an 8 could be a 3. 4 could be a 9, and a 9 could be a 4. All right. So if you happen to look at your triples or false triples and look at the combination that goes under it or over it and across. Okay. Here we have 213 and 326 as mirrors. Now, look at the numbers on top 798. It doesn't cross itself back across. Okay. Now, they do have other areas like 798 could be up and down, 987, 748. Okay. But for this particular example, pay close attention because sometimes they'll use that. Sure, there may be reasons why they use that, but anything that repeats in its mirror form could be hot. All right. So I'm just going to stop right there with those particular numbers. The next day, all right, 817 hit. March 17th, midday. Okay, so where's that number? Get our 871 right here, and it came straight across. Okay, because typically I would tell people, hey, you may want to look at all the numbers running across, but check with your state's pattern, because you may start backtracking and you may notice they like to use numbers that may be connected with the false trip or triple itself. Okay, so yeah, that was an easy hit. It happened to come straight across, which I absolutely love. Yes. So let's go to the next example. Again, false triples or triples. This one happened to be what? Straight across. I used to hate looking at these because I didn't know how to utilize them until I started studying states like Texas and Georgia, and they really opened up my eyes to a few things, right? Excuse me. So, March 17th, midday, 817 hit. We notice right away there's a 055, 500. Now, again, I would always tell people, hey, just look at the numbers. Those could be hot numbers for the upcoming days, right? True, could be. Now, with Missouri, pay attention to what's closer to, okay? You have here 748, that's right on top. You have here 362, okay? On top, you have a 293, 817, okay? Now, I'm going to show you something, because a lot of these other numbers could be cool, but there's something really important about the 817 here. And the reason why I'm saying that is because that is an actual hit, and it happens to sit on the bottom of the false trips. Sometimes the hit will sit at the top. If it's top or bottom, this could be, pay attention, there could be something coming back out as a repeat, or its mirror could repeat. Okay, you think I'm playing? 362 was under here, right? Okay, 817 is its mirror is 362. Remember, I just said, if you notice that the last hit happened to be top or bottom of a false trip running across or connected to some type of triple, that could mean some type of repeat or the mirror repeat. Okay. Well, 817 didn't repeat, but guess what did? 326. Yep. 326. Right under here. Okay. When I tell you this stuff is literally right in front of our faces, it's just trying to figure out, going back, tracking to see what hits come from these, and then coming up forming patterns. Okay. Now, there are some times where you'll see this and you may not see a hit for the next day. You may be like, hold on, what's going on? Here's a few things I want you to keep in mind, Missouri. Okay. The first thing are date sum numbers. Sometimes they work, sometimes they work against us. The date sum for March 16th, if I was to add 3 plus 16 together, I get the number 19, right? The 9, the 9, even though this is evening, what would be the next date sum we would need? Right? 317, which would be 20. 0 or 5 would be the next date sum, which happened to be 871 came on that date sum. So again, pay attention. Those could be the links. Those little key things could tell you, hey, maybe you may want to play this sometime on the date sum of 0. Okay. They don't always work out perfectly like that, but that's just trying to throw you some little golden nuggets here. Another thing, let's look at this. Now remember, this was midday. Okay. Now, even though 326 hit the next day, okay, what was the date sum for here? March 17 would be 20, right? You notice there's zeros. So if it's playing the same day, maybe the same date sum, I would have thought it would have played evening, right? That would have been my guess. But they actually played it the next date. So pay attention to those things, because I know we like to stay stuck on date numbers and when we think this is supposed to hit, but when you see these, they could come sometime the next day. It may not be midday to midday, evening to evening. Like this was evening, but the hit came out midday. This was midday, but the hit came out evening. Okay, the next day. So pay attention to those patterns. There's a lot of key things when you just start looking and studying. But anyways, I didn't want to hold you guys too long. I hope this helps, Missouri. Okay. And there's so much more. There's so much more. Another thing I want to tell you, heads up, pay attention to those V trips. There are combinations wrapping around. It's been cold the last couple of days, but go back and you'll see what I'm talking about. Let me know if you did and let me know in the comments. Okay. Other than that, guys, be blessed. I will see you guys on the next video.